Let's go to the Big 12 championship. Let's go to Texas versus Oklahoma State, where the line was 15.5, and that was not enough. We were both on Texas minus 15.5. And look, you're looking at the guy preseason Oklahoma State better to win the Big 12. But you're also looking at a guy that gigantically hedged Texas, right, to win that thing. So it ended up working out for me, I guess. But yeah, and the reason why we were on Texas in this game is exactly the reason why they ended up winning and covering the way that they did. Ollie Gordon got shut down by that unbelievable defensive line. And guess what? Alan Bowman, as he made some seriously boneheaded plays, right? But there were also times when he elevated and he made the throws and he put up points on the board. Sure. Some of that was thanks to a nice little interception that Quinn Ewers threw to a ghost. But yeah, Texas dominated here. They look really good. They were clearly one of the top 4 teams in the country, I believe. The resume checks out. The eye test checks out. Now, you could look, the TCU game, they dominated. They controlled that game, all right, the TCU game. TCU came back, sure, put up points, made it, quote-unquote, scary, right? I mean, Texas was in complete control of that game. The Kansas State game was really close, of course, but, I mean, Kansas State's a really good ball club. I mean, look, every single one of these teams in the top 4 has played a close game this year. You know, that's not always the case, but
That's what happens when you play in a conference. Like, you're going to get got. Like, you're going to get every team's best shot. And, like, there's enough talent in all the Power 5 conferences and coaching to, like.
If you don't think Texas on the way out, right, was not going to have a gigantic target on their back, I mean, you knew instantly what was going to happen in some of these games where Texas is getting these teams' best shots, right? But yeah, this was domination. This does not take away from what Mike Gundy did this year. Now, he won Big 12 Coach of the Year. I don't agree with that, right? But here's the thing. I believe it is voted on coaches, right? The coaches vote on Big 12 Coach of the Year. Am I right on that? I don't know. If someone can fact check me in the comments. But if you're a coach in the Big 12, are you voting for Steve Sarkisian, who's leaving the Big 12 next year? No, I don't think I am. Or any media, no. So I think, that award probably should have gone to Steve Sarkisian. But Mike Gundy still, deserves to have his name in that conversation for sure. And we talk about how good of a coach he is. And when his back is against the wall, that is when he's at his best, right? I mean, he went on a tear this year where he won 3 straight games, 3 straight times as an underdog. And in 2 of those games, he was over a touchdown underdog to those teams. Unbelievable. After not knowing his quarterback situation early in the year, having transfer portal exodus in the offseason last year, just finding a way, man. Just finding a way. So credit to Mike Gundy and everything that he did this year. I am a Texas A&M fan, so I will be excited to play against Mike Gundy's Oklahoma State in the Texas Bowl in Houston. So can't wait to see how that goes. Texas, on the other hand, will be in the college football playoffs. They'll be playing in, I believe, New Orleans in the Sugar Bowl. And that'll be an exciting game. We just talked about Washington. They're 4.5-point favorites. Texas is over Washington. It's going to be Washington is a tough matchup for Texas, and Texas, I think, is a tough matchup for Washington. Offensively, those 2 teams are tough matchups for the opposing defenses.
Absolutely. Is it okay to call Texas back yet? Are we doing that? No. What makes them back? Well, to me, this is because this is a different Texas team than we've seen in prior years.
Yeah, I think Texas is back in the sense where they're recruiting at that high level, but also the production is on the field and they have that coach, you know, it'll be interesting. It always has ultimately come down to having a quarterback, right? And Quinn Ewers seems like he's a very good quarterback and he's been able to do a lot with the talent they've have around him. So we will see if these quarterbacks that Texas can bring in, right, and have brought in, aka Malik Murphy, Arch Manning, if those guys can be those guys to continue carrying the torch, right? Because it felt like there was a stretch there, even with Sam Ehlinger, for how productive Sam Ehlinger was, he had his flaws, right? He wasn't going to necessarily elevate a team to win a game. The difference, though, I think with this team, the biggest difference besides quarterback, right? Defense, man. Defense. And now they don't have it necessarily in the secondary, but yeah, that front 7 is nasty. But some of those guys are going to go to the NFL, so we'll see how they reload. Texas is back, I believe, when they can reload. So we'll see how they do that next year. And if they lose this game to Washington, that's not a disappointing season at all. They won the Big 12 on their way out. They're headed to the SEC with a top recruiting class, very talented team, and they're getting their bag. So successful season for both of these teams. So this was not necessarily the most entertaining game to watch. A lot of points on the board in the first half, though. So if you like offense, you did enjoy watching that first half for sure.
Well, and Sark's offense is always beautiful as it is. Like with those talents and the receivers they have, running backs, they go 3 deep there, 4 deep. Yeah, it's really incredible to watch. To me, when I thought like I took Texas to win the Big 12. I took their over or whatever. I was really high in Texas this year. I believe in defense, yes, but that offense I think can elevate you to like something that you haven't had before. I think we're like they can go and actually compete at a national championship level. And like you saw that against going into Bama and kind of whooping them, right? And that's the SEC champ. Obviously, from September to December, we saw Nick Saban and Alabama grow a significant amount. But you saw Texas grow too. Like they went through, trials and tribulations you mentioned in the Big 12, getting everybody's best shot, and they went unbelievable. They lost to Oklahoma, but they battled, and when they needed it, the last 2 weeks, everyone counted them out. They put them at 7. They're like, they don't look good. They're having all these close games. They whooped Texas Tech, and they whooped Oklahoma State. And part of the reason why I was on Texas to cover that spread right in our preview is because they needed style points, and I thought like this is the team to be able to get it. Right, with Quinn Ewers. I mean, they threw the ball 46 times, and they were throwing the ball in the fourth quarter because they knew like they needed to put a statement right on their resume.
Quinn Ewers had like
is
350 yards in the first half. I don't know if that's a Big 12 record. I didn't see it on the broadcast. I just that has to be close. I mean, that Big 12 championship record, I'm saying. I don't know. That was impressive. Very impressive first half for Quinn Ewers. But yeah, I mean, not really much else to say other than I'm excited to see these teams in the future in their respective conferences. I think Oklahoma State can be a big time player in the Big 12 for years to come. And I think Texas is going to have an immediate impact in the SEC. So I guess good luck to both these teams.